when people ask me why snail farming, and I know we're going to get there.
Yeah.
But for 15 years, we've been emerging a farm.
African Bank came in a time when you really needed that kind of help.
Yeah.
What kind of help did they really unlock?
It made me actually realize how...
I mean, when we were talking offline,
Yeah.
both male and females.
So they are hermaphrodites, both male and female lay eggs. And one would give 120 eggs max. I've got twins, a boy and a girl. My daughter was born with a very bad eczema condition. And we were just starting snail farming.
Wow.
And we said, let's try it. We've got some snail slime and we put it in her cream that she's using every day.
Yeah.
And within 3 weeks...
Having the audacity to believe means?
Having the audacity to believe means...
Pat. It's Pat on brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.
Welcome to the Audacity to Believe Conversations, brought to you by Patron Brands in partnership with African Bank. As African Bank celebrates 50 years, we are highlighting 5 SMMEs who embody what their slogan stands for: the audacity to believe. These are stories of resilience, bold ideas, and the power of backing entrepreneurs who dare to dream. And I'm your host, Pat Mahlangu. Let's dive into the conversations. Audacity to Believe Conversations, episode 3. And I have Bayanda Maseko. Should I add the middle name? Vincent Maseko. Welcome to the Passion Brands podcast.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
This is, I must admit, for the first time in my life, I meet someone who does snail farming. What inspired you to start?
Yes, it's quite very interesting. So I am, as you've said, Bayanda Vincent Maseko, and I'm the co-founder of a company called Noliqua Legacy. And we formed and established Noliqua Legacy in 2020.
Okay, that's 5 years ago.
That's 5 years ago, exactly. And that is just a year after the passing of my mother, Noliqua. And hence the name Noliqua. Yes. So what we did there is that with my wife, we wanted to start a water company, bottling company. Why? Because my late mother we've been with her for 15 years on the farm, where she introduced us into farming and the whole agricultural sector. And upon her passing, when we registered the company, we thought we've got so many water on the farm, stream water, that we can actually, bottle spring water that comes from the farm. And we were so much passionate about that. And that is why the farm is based in the East Rand in Nigel, between Nigel and Balfour. Hence we twitched the name Noliqua because we thought it will go aqua.
Got you.
Yes, and it was in her honor really for what she had done, what she had built that far in the agricultural sector. Sorry. And we had the passion to, have her legacy live long.
Yeah.
We had went through a lot of challenges within the farming industry. You would imagine first generational farmers, including herself. So we did not know much. So it had...
what were some of the biggest challenges?
Sure. Well, I can share a couple of challenges, but as at that time and up until now, and I always answer this when people ask me why snail farming, and I know we're going to get there.
Yeah.
But for 15 years, we've been emerging farmers. Now you ask yourself, how do I remain an emerging farmer for 15 years? Where do I graduate from emerging? to commercial. But the challenges are plenty. We've had challenges personally, with skills, management skills, financial management, and so on and so forth, because we want to farm and we have the land, but we do not have the sufficient skills to do and tools, machineries. Farming requires a lot of machineries that are quite expensive. You need a tractor, you need implements, you need seedlings, you need fertilizer, you need electricity, you need water, and it's very expensive. So those were the challenges, that we were just having a farm with no tools, with no machineries, with no skills. Now, probably all we have is land and a passion and love for agriculture. And that was a huge challenge for us to actually find ourselves building. And then for the past 5 years, when we formed Noliqua Legacy in her honor, I decided to take a 5 years journey to self-capacity. To capacitate myself for the business.
Wow. And how's that going?
It's been amazing. This is my 5th year, exactly as we had planned it. And I'm closing the year with a very, very impactful journey that I've went through, especially with African Bank. It was an amazing journey, and actually African Bank came through right in the last year of my 5 years of capacity building.
Got you.
As I'm planning to grow the business and go back to the farm. I'm always there, but to really go back and say, okay, now we're ready. We've got the skills. We've got the capacity. We've got the brand, and we've put ourselves out there. Now it's time for us to build.
So just in short, Noliqua Legacy, it's a group of companies, if I understand you correctly.
Noliqua Legacy is a group of companies,
so
of course.
Spring water.
Yes.
We've got snail farming.
Yes. Poultry farming.
And poultry farming.
And animal farming. Then we've got something that is close to my heart and very passionate about. Skills development.
Got you.
I believe that in the 15 years, when I started with my mother, the younger Bayanda, who was 17 at that time, if he had a mentor,
got you,
to empower him at that time, by the time he is 35, I would probably have, achieved even way more what I've achieved now. And that is what Born to Farm is all about.
Oh, got you. Also, it's a movement.
It is a movement.
I thought it was just a t-shirt that you bought somewhere.
So it's a clothing brand. It's my own clothing brand that we've registered, and it's also a movement where aspiring young farmers come together and they're empowered. With skills, with information and exposure, to markets, to opportunities.
Got you.
Yeah.
I think obviously, there are many farmers out there, many young, even black farmers that are on the come up that obviously have aspirations of becoming commercial farmers rather.
Yes.
But you've got a unique story, and I think as a brand guy, I want to tap onto what makes you unique.
Yes.
Which for me, you guys are the first black snail farmers.
Yes.
I'm more interested in that part, and I think that's what even our audience will find interesting.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the journey of starting a snail farm? And how do snails work?
Yeah. So snails.
Were you guys?
Yeah.
Even that slow to start? I'm kidding.
I got you.
Yeah.
So it is a business that is slow.
Pun intended.
Not really. Yeah, but it's very interesting. Amongst the challenges that I told you about. I think there was an interview that was done with an organization that speaks about mental health, and I was part of the people that came to be interviewed on the farm.
Yeah.
After we went through load shedding, very heavy load shedding.
Oh yes, I remember.
Where we were hit very hard on the farm. So in the farm, you need to understand that if you don't have electricity, you don't have water.
Oh heck! Oh, because you have to pump.
You need to pump the water.
I was listening to some news. I think it's Astro.
Yeah.
They're spending like 10 million rand a month just pumping water.
Yeah. So that was a really hit back for us. We had just started a butchery that we were opening up, chicken-based, because we're poultry farmers, you know.
Yeah.
And
so from the farm.
Exactly. So we were raising chickens, slaughtering, and we had bought refrigerators and equipment for our butchery. And when COVID hit, it really hit us very hard. We had over 2,000 chickens that we had just started. In fact, I remember the day exactly as the chicks were coming in, 2,000
of them.
Chicks coming in. They literally went, and for a few hours we had water because we already pumped for the day.
Yeah.
But after a few hours, we did not have water. We do not have power. Now, chicks, they need for you to control the temperature.
Yeah, the temperature,
lighting and water and all that. And we didn't have all of that. We tried, with our neighbors and everyone to assist, but everyone can help just...
Of course.
That far, because we all don't have electricity and we are all farmers and we all have animals to feed and to give food. So it was a disaster. And that really, they all died. We lost all of them. And that was really, a hit back. And I remember I was sitting on the farm and thinking, what's next? And this is after so many challenges, and you are trying to build something in the midst of all the storms, and it was the end of it. But, eventually I found myself to, pick myself up and say, what is next? Let's work and do something. But, I think that's one of the reasons that inspired the snail farming. And as I was sitting on the farm, I thought to myself, I need to look at what I call alternative agricultural practices.
Got you.
Why? Because when I look at our counterparts who are historically, advantaged and farmers, at times we as black farmers, I have bigger land than my, neighbor. But I can have 20 hectares, he can have 1 hectare and still make $1 million out of the 1 hectare, and I'm not even close to that.
Sure.
And I asked myself, why is that? Because at times we tend to farm and to be so busy and excited that we are busy, but we're not really making business.
Oh, but you're not productive.
Exactly. And I did my research. I went to, ask for mentorship. I went to speak to them, and I actually realized they go into an R&D where they look, if I have 1 hectare, what can I do to make money out of it? Something that does not need a lot of money, and a lot of machinery that is expensive, a lot of labor and all of that. And that's where I started researching, and I, read about snail farming. I read about earthworm farming. I read a lot of them, a lot of black soldier flies, which I'm part of a very massive group of black soldier fly farmers. So they are flies that are farmed.
Okay.
But it's a topic of another day. But flies are farmed.
What benefit do they have to the ecosystem?
So I'm glad that you asked that question. So flies eat rubbish.
Yeah.
So all the waste in the farms from restaurants, all the waste that is, disposed everywhere, is actually fed to the flies, and the flies, they lay eggs, and those eggs become larvae, the worms. So flies, eggs become worms before they morph again to
flies.
Exactly. So those worms.
What happens when they die? Because they also become waste.
So they become waste, feed again.
So it's
a whole cycle.
Yeah.
And those worms are very high on protein.
Okay.
And they actually feed for animals. for animals. And very amazing. So what happens is when you're a poultry farmer or any animal farmer, feed is very, very expensive.
Gotcha.
And it has to have protein. That's the main ingredients.
Of course.
And those worms actually are a great source of protein
for the animals.
Then chickens, and then we eat the animals. And the animals actually are very healthy and A-grade meat, chicken and beef and all that, because they consume very high protein.
Interesting. I mean, I'm just on the protein point.
Yeah.
There's been a huge, I'd say, popularity of protein as a source of nutrient.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's all sorts of things that people are doing around protein. So it'll be interesting to see if we can make a shake out of.
Actually, snails are also high in protein. And that's one of the reasons we're also doing that.
Fantastic. So black soldier flies into the ecosystem.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's where now we got to learn about the snails. Not only are they consumed, so go back to history. Snails are French, so it's a French history. France, Italy, European countries are very big with a snail that's called escargot. It's a delicacy.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have big festivals where thousands and thousands of people come all over the world to come and, see how different teams of people cook and prepare snails.
Oh, so
it's quite a big thing. I'm actually planning to go to Italy next year to attend that festival as one of the African farmers, Wow. I think I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, so you do your research, you come across this thing, snail farming, and what was that aha moment, to say this is something that I can...
So I shared it with my wife.
Yeah.
And she actually told me about the skincare part of things with snails. And then we were like, this is a great thing to look at. And we started looking, we've got the land, we've got a bit of water. Let's see if we can go and try to collect some of the snails. But a big breakthrough came in one of the ESD programs were happening around our area. And they were looking for farmers and someone who can take over a land and come up with a project that we can do and all of that. But to cut the story short, we got into that program and we were managed to, to gather some funds to build a snail farm. But before
How big is the farm?
So the snail farm itself is just 1 hectare.
Okay.
So we've got 80 hectares of land, but we're doing we can farm 3 million snails in just 1 hectare.
And how long, from the moment you plant the
So we got an offtake there, guys, up in Mossel Bay that built a snail processing plant. And they said we're looking for outgrower farmers that can grow snails for us and supply for consumption. So what you do is we then import snails. From different countries, but it's a very unique.
But snails are not native to.
Look, they are, but we don't have a history. They are very much native, but our African snails are called African giant snails, and in the West Africa they're very much well known and popular. They eat them on a daily basis. But escargot is a specific type of a snail.
And that's the one that the French
really understand and love the most. And we had to go and get that from them and bring them in, breeding stock from France, from Greece, from Italy. So they come from different places, and we get them to the country as a breeding stock. We start breeding and they start laying eggs.
Like crazy.
Like really crazy.
Yeah. I mean, when we were talking offline, both male and females.
So they are hermaphrodites, both male and female lay eggs. And one would give 120 eggs max.
Sure.
So you can start at 500 snails and within a month you've got like 50,000 snails. Because every day you're collecting snails, you're incubating for 2 weeks and they morph. So they don't hatch, they morph. So the egg becomes automatically the snail.
Yeah.
So then we calculate, we know when you have a cluster of eggs, you know how many eggs you have. That tells you how many snails you probably have. Between 100 and 120 per cluster. And that is the process, then incubation. From incubation, they morph. From morphing, they become then your juvenile snails and they are thrown into the garden. We try our best to give them their natural habitat where they're in a garden, there's green, there's water, they love a humid condition, temperature is controlled, and, they just go on and live. And they are then given a specialized feed with protein for them to grow. because you're growing them to get to a certain size so that you can be able to feed your market.
Yeah. And who do you sell them to?
And then you sell them. Like with us, we had the factory that was processing and packaging for European markets. We're still working with them now very closely. We've got an opportunity to actually be part of the whole system, and we busy with European markets and looking at getting that inside.
Interesting. You do what the Europeans have been doing for a long time. Get stuff
Study
from
from,
Africa, process them,
take it back.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the interesting part of it. We also...
Any local...
Yeah, we were actually approached by local restaurants, one of the very known restaurants, and we are in talks with regards to supplying the local market. They're actually shocked that we have snail farmers in South Africa, and they came to me and said, we are very amazed because for decades, as group of companies, of restaurants, we've been importing hundreds of tons of snails for just the local market. So there's a huge market locally and internationally. And of course, like I've said, for skincare, we recently launched our Naturale, beautiful by nature, very premium, natural skin product.
I love the packaging.
Hence I'm confident to call it a premium product. You know, it's a very you can. It's natural.
Yeah.
You can almost smell a bit of some snailing So it's a natural product, but it's more than a beauty product. It's actually a solution. And that's one of the reasons I went and we decided to invest, all that we had into this product because it really is a solution.
Amazing.
And
where do you sell this one?
To skincare. So we have launched our online web store where we're launching that. We're focusing on building up the brand.
Got you.
Locally, and so that people can, familiarize themselves with that. We are already approached by distributors into retail, but we're just taking our time and just making sure that they've got everything in line for us to then to be ready to also mass produce so that we can be able to meet that market. Yeah. But it's a very beautiful product. It is actually...
When did you start this one?
So this was launched on the 18th of September, 2025.
Also,
it's still a baby. It's very new. Yeah. But it's growing very, very, very big. We're sending this product across the country. We've got orders in Botswana. We actually were privileged to be in the Natural and Organic Products Expo in Sandton Convention Center. Fantastic. Where some of the people came through and they were actually from abroad in America. Yeah. And they got a hold of our product. And when they used it, they were amazed and they asked us to send a few products to that side, and those are the potentials of that. And hence I'm saying it's a beautiful product. It's not just a skincare product, but it's really a solution to skin conditions such as eczema, psoriasis, and many other skin conditions, irritated skin, burns, uneven skin tone, and really we went into this because we've seen results. My daughter, I've got twins, a boy and a girl. My daughter was born with a very bad eczema condition. And we were just starting snail farming. Wow. And we said, let's try it. We got some snail slime and we put it in her cream that she's using every day. Yeah. And within 3 weeks, she was eczema free.
What?
And
that saved you a lot of money.
It did, eh?
Because it could have been in and out of dermatology.
True. And we had Tabang, who was our farm worker, who had a very bad skin condition called psoriasis, but it was all over his body. Sure. And we gave a try to him as well. And in 3 weeks, that guy's skin was absolutely healed. Wow. And that is when actually Naturale was born.
Okay.
Actually. And the reason why we said we are going to do this because it's actually a solution to people. And if you want to be successful in business, of course, you need to look at a problem and come up with a solution. I was like, before we make money, we're actually helping a lot of people save money as well.
Of course.
And gain their confidence back.
Yeah, I mean, skin problems, I know they can be very anti-confidence, in oneself, So, African Bank is turning 50 this year, and I mean, it was started by a group of very, audacious people. What would you say has been one of the most audacious things you've done? I think I can already tell the answer, but let's hear it from you.
Yeah, I think, audacious is really having that audacity to believe in oneself. I think that's the best thing I've done for myself.
Got you.
And to myself, to really also be solution driven, and be innovative. Because if I didn't have that innovative mind, because I was always challenged in the agricultural sector as an emerging farmer, to say, why are we all planting spinach? Because we have a problem with the market, and as much as markets can be open, but we all are planting spinach. When I get there to go and sell, you are there to sell, he's there to sell, and
At the end of the day, spinach is a spinach.
Spinach is a spinach, and the price is also
commoditized,
affected, and we had that problem actually. We have seen that through research, a lot of farmers, the first thing that they start farming is a spinach, which is it's not a bad thing. And I'm not saying we should not.
The barriers to entry are quite low, eh?
It's very, very low. And the harvest is quite big as well, because spinach continues to grow after harvest by itself as well. And I wanted to be unique. I wanted to be different. I believe that I can make a great impact and change, in society by what I can create, by being innovative. And I think snail farming was a very great thing for us to go into. And it really needed us to be audacious, because it's something that is very niche, very new in South Africa. It's not there. You can't go to an organization or to somebody and say, teach me, mentor me, or it doesn't even have a guideline, in South Africa on how to farm snails. So I think it was very audacious for me to do that.
No, I must say I agree with you. I mean, entering uncharted territory.
Definitely.
Really coming up with a product or an offering that nobody really, ordinarily, also myself, I wouldn't have thought about farming snails.
Exactly, yeah.
So just still on the snail topic, what is, yes, we said they are hermaphrodites.
Hermaphrodites, yeah.
So they both male and female.
Yeah.
What is the other thing that many people don't know about snails?
Well, that is the most interesting one that I always use. Yeah, but snails, they I don't think they are as slow as we think they are.
Okay. In what aspect?
in every aspect, in the whole cycle, I think they are amazing creatures. There's a lot one can learn from them. They are very protective, and they actually self-heal. And that really stands out for me and has really added to my own, attitude to life, So snails have got a hard shell, but it's not really hard. It's quite fragile. But when they break their shell, they are able, through the mucin, the slime, to rebuild their shell and to restore that. And that for me says a lot as a human being, especially as an entrepreneur. To be able to say amongst and in the midst of all the storms, you are able to, rebuild yourself, restore yourself, and to stand up again and try again.
Yeah. Obviously, entrepreneurship is not like a super highway. You just get in and things just, using. You face a lot of challenges. But during those times, when you are super challenged and you're facing difficult challenges, what keeps you going?
Sure. What keeps me going is reflection. I reflect on where I'm coming from, what I've been through, and how I've conquered that.
Yeah.
And also in a reflection of where I want to be. Gotcha. And when I combine both, looking back gives me my strength back, and looking forward actually gives me hope.
Oof.
So I've got both strength and I've got hope that I am going somewhere. Clearly because I've been somewhere where I'm not anymore today. And what I'm going through now can be my yesterday. And that's what really keeps me going.
Got you. Earlier on, you made mention of the fact that African Bank came in a time when, you really needed that kind of help.
Yeah.
What kind of help did they really unlock
it made me actually realize how, yes, I'm passionate about running business for maybe different reasons. Some wants to make money, put food on the table, want to bring a solution, or you're just passionate about something, or you studied something. But really, why do you have the business, and how far do you want to take it? And a program such as this makes you realize how many loopholes you actually have in your business. Because we go to banks to ask for loans, to ask for monies, for funding. You know, we go to markets to look for markets, but we're really not ready. And we think we are, because I know how to plant the spinach, to grow it, to harvest it, to wash it. Yeah. But I don't really have a business. I'm not really running a lucrative business. I just know how to farm. And this program comes in and say, what are your SOPs? What is your corporate governance? And you start scratching your head, you know, and it was a journey, a beautiful one that took us through, you know, great mentorship, great, you know, sessions with great insight of how really business is run locally and internationally. I really think that a program with African Bank is an international standard. You know, it's at the peak. It's at its best. I've been in other programs, and
can imagine.
You know, as I've said, like my 5 years of personal capacity building was, you know, that one must be equipped, and this program came to really equip myself to say, yes, I'm a CEO, but do I have structures in place to run my business that even though my business is no longer there, the business can be able to run? Because most of the time we're business people, but we are the business.
Gotcha.
And coming out of this program now actually leaves me with a very beautiful business, a legacy, Noliqua legacy,
Gotcha.
A true legacy that can stand even when I'm no longer there. For an example, Abu Babu Maponya, you know, who started, you know, legacies like African Bank.
Gotcha.
They are no longer with us today.
But the bank still stands. Amazing.
And that is what the program is all about for me, and it's amazing.
Yeah. As we close, just one word. Having the audacity to believe means?
Having the audacity to believe means seeing possibilities when others see limitations.
That's very profound.
I believe in the times of Abu Babu Maponya, there were a lot of limitations. And everything seemed to be impossible. That was the most toughest times.
I mean, the story of African Bank, when they were tasked to raise R1 million before they could open
the bank, exactly.
They managed to raise 70 bucks.
Imagine. So it was impossible. But they saw beyond the impossibilities and the limitations. And this is where we are today with African Bank.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing stuff. For our viewers, anyone that's interested in getting in touch with you, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can check.
I'm very fascinated by snails.
Yeah. So we've got.
Get into snails farming.
Yeah, snail farming. Yeah, I know. So I'm getting a lot of people that wants to actually enter into snail farming. I'm like, no, before you enter in it, let's go into the learning phase of it first. Gotcha. You know, so that's important. Like I've said, we also run mentorship and training programs where we train people and expose them to these opportunities and markets that are there. NoliquaLegacy.co.za. Our website is there and all the information is there. And Bayanda, Maseko, everywhere on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm available and they can look me up there and find me there.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much for making the time to come through here.
Thank you very much for having me.
You know, entrepreneurs are busy people. So you still found time to come share your story.
Yes, thank you.
Us. And I really wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
As you continue to grow, but also, please, may your growth not be as slow as a snail. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. It will be as healthy as a snail.
Got you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
For me, Pat Mahlangu, Gitsi, Nachailale.
Pat. It's Pat on Brands. Watch how you branded, man. A pat on the back is a pat from the man. Better be branded, man. A pat from the pat is a pat on the brand. If it's enormous.